28 of our 2023 road trip. We're on Uber. We're going to have a bus tour of Washington, D.C. Huh?
Yeah, we didn't want to deal with parking, so we just take a look at the city, and then we're going to do a bus tour.
Time difference, it would be 4. Okay. Okay. Inspiration to go and visit from the movie National Treasure.
Let's go.
No, it's getting there. Not her.
For us and being on time. We violated that this morning, but the rest of the tour we need to be on time. And so someplace we have to run like the airlines and the trains, and if for some reason the president is in modern times driven down to the U.S. Capitol, put his hand on a Bible, his or her hand, and sworn to protect our Constitution. And if you look left and right as we go through this block, I think it's on your left, you'll see little eagles on the street lamps. That is to designate you are on the inaugural parade route. An eagle is our national bird symbol. It stands for freedom. The freedoms granted us by the American Constitution. And if you look again to your right to Freedom Plaza, marched millions of people up to the Lincoln Memorial for a speech and a movement for civil rights. I want to point that out because when you get to the Lincoln Memorial and later on in this last century, the laws were changed and we now have Mayor Muriel Browser. Twice our current mayor has tried to make D.C. the 51st state versus giving it back to Maryland, which ceded the land. Because people in Washington, D.C., guess what? Can't vote. Cannot vote. So I live in Maryland, a vibrant city. There are more people today living in Washington, D.C., population-wise, that are in the state of Vermont and Wyoming. Can you imagine that? The World War I. It's going to be finished in 2000. Federal agency. No surprise why? You need money to run the government. And a person responsible for the U.S. Treasury Department and having sort of a national financial system was made famous in that play, Hamilton. And his statue's on the back in the park that are protesting nuclear energy. Somebody's going to ask me, like, honestly, the best place for photos.
Why the best place?
This is a French period style, and traditionally had in America. It's an art gallery, and you're welcome to. When one vice president leaves, they put their initials in a pull-out drawer and pull forward ahead. And then you get to see that the living national headquarters for the American Red Cross, originally founded in Switzerland, and home and headquarters are about 40 minutes away in the Glen. Decades. What was it like to live in that state in that decade? All created. It's nice to see. And on your right, then the Washington Monument, and then on your right, the Lincoln Memorial. This area between the Lincoln Memorial and the U.S. Capitol is called the National Mall, from the French to mean meeting places, and is part of the design of inception to now. And this view later of your heritage on things you're going to. State came into the Union, starting with Delaware, and honoring all the veterans that come from these areas. nearly 11 in this war, any war America has had.
Also konstigt i Sverige sen. Jag bara, hallå, ingen är bakom mig. Så kommer vi bara till ordning.
The book behind.
Did you guys notice that? Like,
So cute. Because you're walking backwards. Are enjoying the pizza, girl soccer, and then cheese intro pizza at the Bozali's Pizza. We are in a hurry to go to the boat.
I'm destroying my pizza. It's a banana.
Potomac River.
Welcome aboard the Nightingale. Jackets located in the bed seat in the forward area of the vessel. You'll also find restrooms on both sides in the front of the vessel, forward of the pilot house. The complex we're departing from is Washington Harbor. It was high school and college growing teams. That's Rock Creek. It's also the beginning of the C&O Canal, in Chesapeake, Ohio. The canal follows the Potomac River for 184.5 miles. The country is the common thread that binds all your honor and remembrance. It's John F. Kennedy Memorial Path, as well as Pierre LaFont, the designer of the federal city home of those laid to rescue. This is also the location of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, guarded 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, quarters to its 5 rings, and 6.5 million square feet of space. The Pentagon is home to more than 20,000 military personnel and civilian workers every day. This massive structure is made of reinforced concrete and faced with limestone. That is not yet deliberately crashed in the Pentagon killing 190 people on the ground.
country. You can see the boat and the one in my home state of New York. Which I have a comment going on around here in the Georgetown area. You can look that up and plan to come out. I think the embassies are open and go and look in the inside. And learn about culture and different things. We got so many bodies that this formed the basis of what is now Arlington National Cemetery. The family had to sue for money because after, here's the back side of the Lincoln Memorial, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start talking about the War Memorial now, and then we'll get you prepared for this. Interested in memorials might seem otherwise. And I have the privilege of
Meow. Oh, I missed it today.
You got change, trick? Just have to do portrait.
University learning about Mohammed.
How did she do with this?
Go ahead.
Yes, it did.
She didn't do that though.
Then what did she do? Did she...
Here and catch the stone and
Mama. Yeah, baby.
and then it got eclipsed by the Eiffel Tower, and then the Eiffel Tower was eclipsed by a building in Dubai. That building, a friend of mine in Dubai went on up from the highest building in the world. All the new technologies that get developed, they have to stay in front of. Like, did you read that there's plants and animal stem cells that they're growing meat and food on right now instead of the real thing? So they have to legislate over all our nuclear waste matters and any important things. And on your left is the satellite and clear gallery of internet. Whoops, there's the castle. That's the main Smithsonian building. And in front of it is the National African from the country of Africa Art. That main Smithsonian building we just rode through, ladies and gentlemen, has the visitor center. Now, how did we get the Smithsonian museum? Does anybody know? Nobody knows. I'm going to tell you. But first, that is the Historian Gallery of Modern Art on the lower left. It's part of the Smithsonian. There was a gentleman in Europe named Smithson who had money. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Smithson, it took us 10 years. So as soon as you're off and click,
This photo, did we even see her?
we don't have streets down there. I'm gonna. Is that good? Found a way to get the camera. As we pull forward, on your right is the National Gallery. We're gonna be dropping you off for anyone who needs to order an Uber. Now's a good time.
I'm
We're at Family Ethiopian restaurant in Washington DC. We're eating sambusa. Sambusa. And then Jibina coffee.
Hey guys, guess what?
Ethiopian coffee. Yum. With
Guys.
incense.
So, during the bus tour, we tried taking hit. So basically, I like this is spicy. This is spicy.
Family meat and veggie meal. I don't know how to call it. So this is the injera, the sponge. She's enjoying it.
This is good. Oh, everyone try that.
Spicy lamb,
Sambusa.
lamb,
The end of
beef
the
tidbits, beef,
sambusa.
ground beef.
The end of sambusa.
Sambusa.
The end.
And then I think this
dead.
is lentil, collard green,
I think that
chickpea.
the bread is
And then
the bread
cabbage.
is sticky.
Yeah, it is.